BPod Studios.
Now it's time for Zolak and Bertrand. Brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks on the Sports Hub.
He has tremendous support in the building. If he has to make one for us, the game on the line, he will. 44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it. Wide right. Wow. The two most dreaded words in Buffalo have surfaced again.
What an unbelievable stand. Kansas City really did stand up and make it very difficult on every 3 plays to make it. Buffalo just didn't have anything easy, no big plays. And to me, the pressure of that moment, it's just so intense, Jim. It's not over here right now.
You got 2
but
timeouts
Kansas
for the
City
Bills.
is definitely in a driver's seat.
Good morning. Welcome in to Zolak and Bertrand, presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. It's Beetle, Zoe, Joe Murray with us today on this Monday after the divisional round completed last night with the Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. We're down to the Final Four in the NFL. It's the 1 and the 3 seed in each conference. The Ravens will host the Chiefs next weekend, and the 49ers will host the Detroit Lions, who have won 2 playoff games.
At home.
At home. Back-to-back weeks. But let's start with last night's game. Let's start with Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills. That's the story. Is that the story to you, that a guy missed a kick?
No.
That's not the story to me.
No.
The story to me is that the Kansas City Chiefs went on the road, and Patrick Mahomes is back in the Final Four because that's what he does every single year. 6 straight years, Patrick Mahomes has been the starter. 6 straight years, Patrick Mahomes has brought his team to the Final Four in the NFL. And he came out of the gate ready to play. Because the drive chart for the Kansas City Chiefs looks like this. Field goal, touchdown, take a knee at the end of the half, touchdown.
On the road.
On the road.
Against that defense, right.
6 of their first 7 drives resulted in scores, and they almost had another score if it were not for a fumble at the goal line that ended up being a touchback, which was a gift from the Bills for going for it, which was a total gift. And the Kansas City Chiefs got good performances from their best players, including Travis Kelce, who, again, was a massive factor. And Josh Allen didn't have that great of a night.
Yeah, his team saved his ass. Kincaid on that one, knocking it out. Some poor decisions, I thought, on a lot of throws. But the biggest thing for me that I took away from that game is, as I thought that when Kansas City was here, and I watched fans sort of, follow them around and the attention that they draw, they're the New England Patriots. There's your quarterback that makes a difference. There's an aging tight end that you still can't stop. It's a receiver here, a running back there, and her defense bails you out when you're in trouble a little bit. Those are no Patriots. That's Brady and Gronk. Now, he's a different player than Brady. You watch the plays he made with his legs, especially last night at one down that left sideline. But I thought he made 2 phenomenal throws, stepping up in the pocket, moving forward off the odd foot to drive it. I think it was number 4. I think it was 4.
Rice.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. Yeah. But Mahomes was the difference in that game. He was the difference. He won that game for them, I thought. I thought he made some big throws. Finding Kelce open when he wasn't open. Now there was some wide open catches like the blown touchdown catch. Mm-hmm. But there are other ones he threw that were just great balls on the road, those conditions.
Josh Allen completed 1 pass of 10 yards or more in the whole game.
The best throw he had, I thought, was the 62-yarder that he had the digs that he dropped.
Yeah, it was a hell of a throw. That was a hell of a throw.
That was the one in the end zone on 3rd.
Oh, that one too. Yeah, that was to number 10.
Uncatchable ball. That was the best throw of the weekend.
Moving to his left, Joe. Moving to his left.
No, but just to see a guy who could flick it that far, though. I mean, that's
the digs.
Yeah.
And you texted during the game, like, all these games, how far are the Patriots from this?
So far away.
Like
even with a team that couldn't complete any big plays. As you heard Romo say in that clip off the top, Buffalo had no big plays. They couldn't generate on offense. Kansas City smothered them. They smothered them.
Rounding routes in the middle, not breaking them off, was Diggs.
You look at his stats, right? Everyone knows. Josh Allen, I heard this commentary last night watching some of the post-game stuff. Like, oh, well, you can't hang this one on Josh Allen. And I go, okay, that's technically true. You can't hang it on. It's not like he played poorly. But 16 of his completed passes were behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they kept throwing that side.
Yeah.
I was wondering when that was going to fail.
Oh, they got that out of our playbook this past year.
They just couldn't generate offense the way they wanted to, and that's what it came down to. Kansas City was the better team in this game. And so for all this talk about wide right and a missed kick, I still don't think Buffalo was going to win that game in the end. Even if they sent that thing to overtime, I didn't have any faith in them this time around.
Felt to me, even when Kansas City was trailing because of the way they scored, I said, they just got to get the ball back.
That's it. That's all it was going to take. You give them the ball, they're going to score. Yeah. They were scoring most of the night. And so I look at that and I say, well, the better team won. The better team won this game. And Patrick Mahomes is again in this position to put his team in the Super Bowl. Again.
Does it happen next week? No, we'll get to all that.
It might.
I don't think it's going to.
I'm not counting them out. If there's going to be an upset next weekend, I'd put my money on the Chiefs.
Really?
Yep.
Well, two best defenses in football are going at it. And which quarterback probably would have a better chance against those defense? Lamar Jackson started slow.
Lamar's legs.
Yep. But that's where I think Buffalo went wrong yesterday. When I was watching that game, I thought at times maybe Josh Allen should just take the ball by himself and win the game himself.
They had a couple of those called runs around in with him.
Yep.
Yeah, off the play fake, but they're going to end up getting him killed at some point.
Yeah, and the other thing about the Chiefs, too, is how many calls didn't go their way, and then the obviously the touchback.
Well, Buffalo got every call.
That's what
they got every call, Joe.
And Romo loved Buffalo yesterday. I had a little money on the Chiefs, so I was like, this guy's all over him. But the touchback call was right. They should have won that game, the Chiefs, by I think 10 or more. Like they had this one in their grasp, and even if they make that field goal, Mahomes still gets the ball. And one other thing I wanted to mention: Travis Kelce in big games. He is a big game player. And Rob Gronkowski was too. I'm not doing the comparison, okay?
But you can no one else in the playoffs. He's got one more than Rob.
That's fine. Yeah. But they have no one else to depend on. Like Mecole Hardman fumbled twice on 2 possessions.
But what's that say to you? Like to Beatles' point, he's got him back in the Final Four with that offensive roster, which isn't great. It's not one of his best. I look at that one going back to when they had Cheetah, when they had the hell's the kid from Clemson?
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins, Kelce in his prime. That offense was legit. They just got Hardman, too, at the time. Hardman.
Does this remind you of the 06 Patriots, though, at all? Like,
no, this reminds me of the late-day Patriots.
No, they're better than the 06 Patriots.
Yeah,
they're a better team. They have a better defense. They have a legit defense, and they still have better pieces offensively than the 06 Patriots had. The 06 Patriots did not have Travis Kelce. I know he's not Travis Kelce in his prime, but when you need him, he's there. By the way, I got to correct you. Buffalo did not get every single call. There was a PI, in the fourth quarter that was but
I'm saying the bounce of the balls, that should have been a scoop and score on the Allen fumble that no one's going to break his balls on.
Not buying that one, by the way. That was a chip. And I know that they were trying to say the ball has to be out of the quarterback's hand. Don't bump the guy on the way by. It was a pass interference.
You can't reroute receivers coming through. You can't knock them off like that. Patriots used to get away with that too. Like, they'd put a gun in me. I remember when Hightower used to kill people with that. But the ball's got to be in the air. That's the key.
Yeah, it wasn't even close to being in the air.
No, it was the apex of his hand.
And it was within 5 yards. Yeah. So,
even Gene Steratore said, that's and Romo. Ooh, they got.
It didn't result in anything. They didn't score in that one. That was actually.
No, but they would have got off the field.
Punted on.
They would have got off the field there. That gave them a first down.
Yeah. It would have. It didn't change the course of the game. The better team won the game in Buffalo last night. Unfortunately for you, Buffalo. I mean. Hey, it's a testament to that team that they were in the spot they were in.
What do you do with that coach?
Well, he had some questionable calls in that one.
How about that fake punt?
That was moronic.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking there.
That's desperation, right? It happened with Bill O'Brien against the Chiefs years ago, too, if you remember that, in the playoff game. This is 5 straight, guys.
That's a late quarter call. I could see maybe end of the first quarter, and we're going to catch them sleeping here. Like, you're on alert for everything at the end of a game. That was crazy.
But how many times can they be in this point and not make an adjustment, right? You're not moving on from Diggs. You're not moving on from Josh Allen. So where do they make a move? I mean, they already fired Dorsey, and they went on a run.
See how many free agents they have? They got like 11 free agents, and most are starters. Like, they're going to have some issues next year. This is their window. Last year, this year, potentially next year, maybe the year before, and they didn't understand it. But these last 3 years, and maybe next year, this is Buffalo's window to win.
I just think it's hard to fire the guy when they played so well down the stretch and got to the divisional round.
They went 6 or 7 in a row. Like, how do you fire him?
Yeah,
how do you make that change?
I don't know how you do that. And his bad coaching decisions last night ultimately didn't cost them the game.
But he did take over calling the defense. But they have guys down. Their whole linebacking core was decimated. And their front didn't play well yesterday. I don't think they were good at all. Oliver and those guys. They didn't get to the quarterback enough.
So that was last night's game. There were others this weekend, including the Ravens moving on by beating the Texans. And when it comes to who to root for in the AFC, as I was telling you yesterday, Zoe.
Yeah.
If it were the Chiefs, I'd be rooting for the Chiefs. If it were the Bills winning last night, I'd be rooting for the Bills. Anybody but Baltimore is really what I'm at right now. Where I'm at, what I want to root for.
I'm all Baltimore.
You're in on
I don't want to see the Chiefs. I don't want to do this story again for the same old story and inject the Taylor Swift stuff at Super Bowl week. No thanks.
What do we want? Let's talk about
Baltimore, San Fran.
What
Let's go.
What do we want? I want the upsets across the board is what I want this coming weekend. We'll talk about it. It is AFC, NFC Championship weekend on the way. We'll revisit some of the things that happened this past weekend as we continue with your calls as well. Here on Zolak and Beetle. Don't go anywhere.
McDonald's. Radio. Zolak and Bertrand.
It's low risk versus high reward.
The Sports Hub.
And they would host an AFC Championship game since the first AFC Championship game after the 1970 season with the Baltimore Colts. Lamar, he'll hold it himself, runs to the left, he's to the 5, Lamar's in, touchdown Ravens. They're going to have a championship game in Baltimore because the hay's in the barn.
Lamar just ran through the tunnel, went to the locker room.
He went Bo Jackson. He's still up the tunnel. Lamar Jackson will win his first playoff game in Baltimore. And he will get to play in his first AFC Championship game.
And
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to the AFC title game after winning their first playoff game over the weekend. Congratulations. You did that over a inferior opponent. You win 34-10. You win one playoff game, and you're finally in the AFC title game.
The biggest benefit to having the number 1 seed, you get a cupcake in the divisional round, and all you got to do is win one game, and you're playing for a trip to the Super Bowl.
So you think the Texans were a tomato can?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was 10-10 at halftime.
I think their win last week was their party. Like, they arrived. That was like, that's a declaration of we got the right coach, we got the right GM, we got the right quarterback. We made it. We made it to the playoffs. You know, we got divisional round. We got wild card weekend at home. We win it, and then boom, we got to go on the road to face the number 1 seed. We can live with ourselves. Now, they were in that game for 2 quarters. They made it a game. They hung around. But eventually, Baltimore took over.
The time of possession, 37 minutes to 22. They ran the ball 42 times. Like, they couldn't even give Stroud a chance in that second, besides that punt return or whatever. They couldn't do anything in the second half. And, like, is that a way to beat the Chiefs? Like, if we're looking ahead a little bit, is it to run the ball? Because they have a pretty good run defense.
Yeah, that Ravens defense against San Francisco, I remember that game vividly, like play for play. They kicked their ass. Like, after seeing that game, that's where I started to believe in Baltimore. So I thought, here's the same Baltimore, always going to be there around the playoffs. Then they're going to get popped divisional round. They won't make it. But now that team was together, and Lamar threw well that night. I just think it's his year. I do. I think this is Lamar's year. I think they got a shot to win the whole damn thing.
Oh, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not believe? I think any of the 4 teams left could win it all. Is there a team in there that you look at and you say, they got no shot? They're the weak link here.
Detroit.
I don't think so. I don't look at Detroit as that team. I don't think any of the 4 teams left. It's an obvious statement. There are only 4 teams left. You get here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But there are years where you look and you say, of these 4, there's no way that's going to be the one that comes out of this group.
But I would say they're number 4 out of the 4.
I don't think this is one of those years.
But I think it's 4 out of the 4, though. I think Detroit would be 4th out of the other 3.
It's not like the Case Keenum Vikings.
No.
Right.
No.
Right. There's not one of those teams in there where you say, that would be a stunner.
Yeah.
If they win their next 2 games. One of these 4 teams will win the next 2 games and be crowned.
Hot take.
You're going to be a dick today?
Wow.
Ooh.
Mr. Dick on Monday,
Can I
huh?
do this on a Monday?
Here he comes. He's Mr. Dick.
On a Monday?
That's my name.
It's already Monday. You got to add to it with that.
Yeah. Mondays are a bitch, man.
What do you think, T-Bone? Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you got there,
What's
Hot
your
Take
take
Terry?
on the weekend?
I don't have to give takes.
That's right. Just push buttons.
Well, the favorite here, just so you know, the updated odds.
Yes, please.
49ers are your favorite. So about plus 150, depending on where you guys use BetMGM. And then it would be the Ravens plus 200, followed by the Chiefs. The Lions are your long shot here. Plus 750. I mean, I think they have the rooting interest from the public, no doubt. If the Lions got ahead, personally, I don't know how I feel about Brock Purdy coming back, even though he
Not
did
good.
it in the last game. But that's because of McCaffrey and their big players.
How are you not rooting for the Lions? Unless you're a San Francisco fan. How do you not root for them right now?
What I texted yesterday to you guys?
What?
This doesn't feel like a real playoff game. Tampa with Baker Mayfield and the Lions at home. Like it didn't have the. I know their city loves them, and it's a great atmosphere for them. It just, I don't know. You agreed it doesn't have.
I didn't agree. I have no idea what
that
that
game
means.
had juice.
I agreed.
You agreed. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
You do have takes.
It's something about those 3
Oh, he
o'clock.
does have
NBC
takes.
sports.
Apparently
I don't know if it's the early game and it's Baker Mayfield with his wide flexing and like something just doesn't feel right about this game. Or the all stupid blue uniform.
What would you have preferred?
Those awful uniforms.
What would you have looked for yesterday to have it make it feel like a real playoff game to you?
I don't know. Have Dallas in it or Dallas versus.
being a great
Dallas pukes all
Dallas
over their
versus
shoes
Seattle
at
or
this time
something. I don't
of
know.
year.
Or Dallas versus the Giants. Give me like a.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
Dallas Philly in a playoff
I'm rooting
game,
for the
man.
Lions, and I cannot bring myself to root for those Ravens, which is what we were going to talk about here. Why in the world are you rooting for the Baltimore Ravens?
I can't stand the Chiefs.
And you like the Ravens more than the Chiefs? I get it. Like both of these teams.
There's nothing
have
about the
had-
Ravens that I dislike, other than their old bravado.
You don't like their coach.
I think he's better now than he was with Suggs and Ray Lewis. I think Ray Lewis and Suggs and them had really emboldened him, and he was we're rock solid foundation of quality and all that stuff. I think those days are behind him. I think he's toned it down a little bit. I'm not the biggest John Harbaugh fan. You know that. I can't say anything bad about their offense. I can't say anything bad about their defense. Like that.
I mean, the Ravens
they don't seem like they have any a-holes on it.
In my mind, still a Patriot rival. They are. They're a team that we've got it built in not to like.
They're the modern day kick your ass.
Don't
team.
like them. Never liked them when they came here. Never liked them when we had to watch those
Go
games
Ravens. Go
that
Ravens.
mattered in the playoffs against them. Didn't like John Harbaugh being a big crybaby about eligible and ineligible receivers.
Clearly deception.
Didn't like their rumored involvement in how Deflategate kicked off. Didn't like any of it.
Oh, they did bring Ray Rice, I think, back for Recognition Fan Day or something. Like they honored him.
Never liked those. Never liked those guys. Never liked.
I get it.
Lewis. Never liked Ray
Those guys
Rice.
are gone. Those guys are gone.
Suggs.
They're gone.
F those guys.
They're
And you're now
gone.
rooting for that franchise.
Go Ravens. I hope they wear all white. I hope they wear their all white uniforms. Gorgeous uniforms.
So you would rather go against the team that you just talked about than the team that could be chasing the Patriots for records.
Yes, and that's why there's two tie-ins to the Patriots here. You know what's way more fun? Talking about Patrick Mahomes chasing Tom Brady. Way more fun than watching Baltimore win a game.
Their high school
Gross.
offense. You know, like that high school offense? Come on.
But it's not even about it's about the Baltimore thing. All of it.
They hate it so much because it was us.
No, thank you. Gross.
By the way, give me
And give me Taylor Swift all day long. You're the Swiftie around here,
I'm
and
a
you
Swiftie.
don't want Taylor Swift anymore?
I want her in the spring at a spring
Give
concert.
me
That's what I want
shirtless
her.
Jason Kelsey. Give me Taylor Swift.
What about
Give
his
me all
brother
of that.
dancing? What is his brother dancing down there? Pregame warm-ups. You want that down there?
Give it.
Yes.
Yep, I want it all. I want it all.
Yes.
Give me the love story of that over the brotherly love of the Harbaughs all day long.
Oh, if I got to watch that stupid thing
love that.
again. Oh,
Those
his
guys
brother's
flexing,
here.
slapping each other. I love
brother's here.
that. Love that. Look at their dad out there talking like this again, too. These guys are special. You know, we say, who's got it better than us? Who's got it better than us? Yeah. Give me that. I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting. Harbaugh's down your throat all week. We got to sit there and deal with it. We got to deal with the old man walking around Radio Row with the mom.
You hear
Maybe
these
she's going to do
rumors
soup commercials.
of Andy Reid being possibly done. I'll root for Andy Reid. Give me Andy. I'll root for Andy Reid for the time being. Not that I like him all that much, but I'll root for him for now. Maybe he goes away, and that's the end of the thing there.
Zoe's right, though. The hate for the Ravens, it's different now.
Why? Because the Patriots suck?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I think
There's
the Lamar Jackson.
There's a
Ravens
transition.
vibe.
There's a transition of, them falling on the back of Gronkowski's leg, breaking that ankle. That Ray Lewis, Suggs, and Reed trying to hit Brady late. Brady sliding to take out his, put his foot up in the air to take out Reed's leg. All of that is gone now. That is gone. That is the yesteryears. This is a different Ravens. It's a different New England.
You know what I think could catch up with the Ravens, though? They still think they're better than they are.
Yeah, they're a beatable team.
They are a beatable team. I don't think they think they're a beatable team.
They won it in a crappy division for them. Well, Burrow got hurt early.
Yeah, but every team was in the
Cleveland hung
playoff
around. I know. But were they, Joe?
Well, you're right.
Again, it sucks. Like, we're not in it in a year where the AFC sucks.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. Yeah.
The other thing, too, is, Lamar Jackson's one of the guys that got away. Like, the Patriots could have selected Lamar Jackson. Josh McDaniels wanted him at the time.
Meek Mill wanted him.
The storylines that we hear now, maybe Belichick was swayed away from that, but that was a guy that was here. Jordan Love was a guy that was here. Hurts. That's kind of the story of the playoffs for me, is a lot of these quarterbacks remaining. Specifically, Lamar Jackson was one that was linked to the Patriots that they missed on.
617-779-0985. Let's grab some calls. Manny's in Melrose. Manny.
Hey, before I get to the Bills, good morning, guys. I want to talk about Mac Jones real quick. There's a lot of people in this market that said that Mac Jones in San Fran would be better than Brock Purdy. I disagree. He's uncoordinated, and he can't throw on the run like Purdy. That was just my point on Jones. And do you guys think the refs should penalize the Bills for their fans throwing snowballs at receivers in the end zone when they're trying to catch a ball? What do you guys think?
They got to do the warning. They have to stop the game, do the warning, and then you get it, I think, on the third offense. They were throwing them at Mahomes running up the tunnel. It's what Buffalo does. If you're up there and you don't expect to get snowballs thrown at you, then you're stupid.
You're right. Mahomes
Go to Philly. You're going to get batteries thrown at you inside of snowballs. That's
Mahomes was expecting it. You were right. He was like shielding himself on the way over.
Why did he have his helmet off? Put your helmet on and run up the tunnel. We knew that as a team. You put your helmet on. They told us that. When you play in Buffalo, you put your helmet on, you run up the tunnel. Get out of there. It's too close. Bills Mafia. I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Oof.
I do. Because there's not, what do you have to live for, Buffalo?
That poor guy.
Next year? You got to wait till next year?
Pulling his winter hat down over his face.
He probably, he paid probably $1,200 for that ticket. That was like life-saving.
I don't think it was about that. I think it was about just his team losing.
Yeah.
Did the field goal opportunity pop in your head at all when it was happening? Did you think Scott Noah? Like, what were you thinking? Because I'm
thinking this is no gimme. I thought their approach at the end of that game, throwing on a second and 8, third and 8, they mismanaged that clock poorly. You want to bleed that thing down. Yeah, you want to try to get the touchdowns on throws and that, but they didn't have their foot on the pedal enough on that drive. They can run the ball. They can run the ball with Cook. They can run the ball with Allen. Have a called quarterback draw or something. Get 7 yards closer.
No, I wasn't thinking Scott Norwood because Scott Norwood had a chance to win.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that kick
there was still too much time
Buffalo
left.
The game.
Was it $1:43?
I don't think the outcome of the game was changed by the missed kick. It just didn't get extended. Yeah. That's all it was. They just delayed their loss. All they would have been doing was delaying the loss with making that kick. They would have given themselves a chance, but I did not feel like they had outplayed Kansas City in that game. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Which is why they should think about moving on from their coach. They should at least think about it.
Remember, he took over defensive play call ability, and he called for the fake punt. 2 critical errors in that game. That's not the best receiving core that Kansas City has put out there in years.
All right, let's grab the headlines here and then more of your calls and talk about the AFC title game, which is coming up because it has featured either Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady every single year now. For almost a decade and a half, this has been going on. We'll get to more on that next.
In the middle of your day, they're in the middle of Boston sports. Zolak and Bertrand on the Sports Hub.
We were here to prove a point, man, and to show that we can play anywhere. And we know we're going to have a heck of a challenge this next week, but our guys are going to get ready to go and go out there and see what we can do.
I know you're going to have a big challenge, as you mentioned, on the road against the Ravens, but what did this team show, the defense, the offense that was scrutinized all season long, about where you are heading into this championship game?
Yeah, the defense, I mean, they turned it on in that fourth quarter, man. That is a great offense, that's a great football player in Josh Allen, and a great team. And, they were going up and down the field, and the defense said enough is enough. They got the stop from the offense. We sputtered, and that's what it takes to be going to the AFC Championship game is full teams. We were able to do that today.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to
You can't tell me that there's not something just comfortable for the football-loving public that Brady or Mahomes will be there every year consistently in the AFC title game. It's like a good,
in this ever-changing world in which we live in,
warm blanket. That's what it is. Just cozy and comfortable.
Yeah,
That's right, T-Bone. T-Bone with the takes.
It makes me wish, because these things were floating around like the 5-year anniversary of this, that, and that AFC title game in Kansas City when it was sub-10, 37-34. We win that sucker out there. Those were the good days. I wish we got more of the good Brady years up against Mahomes here, because it's so staggered. Because Tom was almost done at that time, which he was pretty much done at that time. And that's where Mahomes really came upon the scene. I wish they crossed over more like Brady Manning. That'd have been fun.
Just, you mentioned Manning. Who do you think would be more of, I think we know Manning and Brady are all time.
Right.
But would you put Mahomes ahead of Manning?
You're starting to ask yourself, how can you not? Because you quantify it with Super Bowl wins, right? With MVPs, with how many times you're playing for the chance to go. Like Beetle brought up the point, he's Brady. Your team's in it every year to play for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. And now, like,
it's nice.
Mahomes and Kelsey broke Brady and Gronk's touchdown record. Yep. 15. Now they got 16. Like, that's all starting to stack up now.
The question is...
The thing that pisses me off is the Allen comparison of the Brady-Manning thing. Josh Allen hasn't done it in a big game.
Yet.
He hasn't got you there yet.
And he's got
and as long as
get to an AFC.
And here's what's kind of fun. This is my fun thing about the AFC. The Bills are never going to break through so long as Mahomes is around. That's it. That's it. Patrick Mahomes is in your way. Sorry,
they missed
Josh
their window.
Allen.
They had him at home. They missed their window.
They didn't miss their window.
Yeah, they did.
They can reopen a window. When you have the quarterback and he's at the age he's at, you can reopen the window.
Look at their free agents.
Yeah, they might have to cycle down, and they might not be another 2 years before they're back in this spot again, but they've got to retool, rebuild. And unlike some teams, they are one of the teams that will work their way around the salary cap. Okay? So I'm not worried about Buffalo. They've got the quarterback. They'll figure it out. But to have Mahomes in there, again, it's been Brady or Mahomes every year in the AFC title game since 2011. One of them has been there. And before that, you say, well, who else was in that thing? Well, it was Roethlisberger the year before that.
Manning.
It was Manning the year before that. And then a bunch of Brady ones back in the 2000s. So it's just a nice consistency that the NFL has built for themselves with Patrick Mahomes in his presence. That's what they've done.
Now, Burrow really screwed this thing up getting hurt, too. That dummy.
He didn't exactly play well out of the gate either with that injury that he was dealing with, but he was a non-factor this year.
Yeah.
How many years has Patrick Mahomes been a non-factor?
Never.
0. Never. It's one of the most impressive things about him. He's got that Brady quality. Yeah, you can count yourself in it. Every single year he'll be hanging around.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
Yep.
Manning played in 5 AFC Championship games. So
he's already got more than him.
Wow.
He's got more than Peyton Manning.
2 Super Bowl wins.
I hold Peyton Manning like it's Brady, and Manning was.
Well, that's how you conditioned all these years. Yeah.
But now you
got to recondition yourself.
Now we have to. Yes, we have to adjust.
Something. Yes, you adjust your expectations.
I still, and I don't know why, I still feel that Manning was better. But watching this, him winning on the road yesterday, that was he was motivated by that.
I'm past Manning being better than Mahomes. Mahomes' athletic ability and his ability to throw accurately and bring his team back is. I remember when Brady threw that pick in the AFC title game. We're inside the 5. I'm swearing, cussing up there. We need to run the ball. How are we going to gift them 7 points? And that almost killed him at the end of the game. That would have been another 7 points he would have come back from. He's never dead.
So Zoe says
Manning can't move much in the pocket. You know where he's always going to be. He never threw on the run. This guy kills you on the run. He was run down that left sideline. I'm like, somebody hit him out of bounds. He almost scored on that.
And he got the call, the last year on both championship games,
No
right?
kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm starting to think he's past Manning. He's on Brady's Hills. He's after Brady. He's not after Manning.
And you're rooting, and this is why you're rooting for Baltimore?
Oh, that's part of it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to see him there again.
So it's more about protecting Brady? I just feel all of a sudden you like Baltimore. I think you like
No.
I think
I
you
appreciate
like
Baltimore.
And it's gross.
I appreciate their black and blue.
Disgusts
I do.
me.
That they knock you around.
I can't believe you sit there in your Patriots quarter zip today telling me that you like the Ravens. It's disgusting.
That's all right. It's fine. You know? Yeah, I'm also rooting for my self-preservation here. We're going out there for 5 days. And I'm going to just have the Chiefs shoved down my throat again for 4 hours a day in Vegas? No, thank you. I don't want to see them on the billboards. I don't want to see the red, white, and yellow stuff everywhere. I don't want to see their stupid fans walking around. Bring in the purple people eating. Not the Vikings, but you know what I'm saying.
Crab cakes.
Yeah, give me crab cakes every day out there. Yeah, that stuff. Kelsey and his brother again, and Kelsey's mom going around on Radio Row. Nah, give me Lamar and his family. Give me something new.
Donna Kelsey is a saint.
She is.
Give me Zay Flowers. Bring flower bouquets down every day. Fresh flowers down at Radio Row. Give me that.
Tebow in Worcester. Go ahead.
Tebow?
Tebow.
Oh. Hey, Beetle. I'm with you on this whole thing. Let's get some more Mahomes and KC chasing down the New England records. And let's get some more Swift. Haters are going to hate. Let's go, KC. Let's go, KC. And you don't have a heart if you don't want Detroit in the Super Bowl. You don't have a soul if you're a human being.
Zoe's coming in with these horrible takes today.
I've always loved San
He's
Fran.
rooting against the Lions.
I want the big matchup.
He's rooting for Baltimore.
I want the big matchup.
And those are two different things. You're rooting against the Lions. Like, you don't want the Lions in there? They don't feel playoff worthy enough for you? You know what would have been the best Super Bowl? Would have been Buffalo and Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
The someone's got to win Super Bowl.
It would have never happened.
The earth would have exploded, right?
Who'd the Lions beat last week?
The meteor would have landed here on the Saturday before the game. It would have been over.
Rams. So they beat up a Rams team that really kind of found their way at the end of the year, found a way to get in the playoff hunt. Then he beat a Tampa Bay overachieving 9-8 team. At home.
Stan is in New Hampshire. Stan, how do you feel about the Ravens?
At home.
Beetle, I agree with you 100%. I don't care for them. I don't care for the uniforms. I don't care for the cockiness. Look at Lamar's touchdown yesterday. He ran into the tunnel. What's he running into the tunnel for? And I saw the news this morning, Harbaugh was breakdancing in the locker room like they already won it all. I mean, give me a break. And Zoe, they won't wear their white uniforms because that's bad memories for Ray Lewis. I'll hang up and listen to you guys.
Oh, good one, Stan. Where's the white suit, Ray? Where's that? That's the team Zoe likes now. He's a big Baltimore fan.
Go Baltimore.
He's rooting for the Ravens.
And that was the deception part of it. It was clearly deceptions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called trick play. Yeah, deception.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, no, that's your guy, though.
Yeah, study the
John
rule book.
Harbaugh and the
Study the
Ravens.
rule book.
That's your guy now.
Well, that started Deflategate. So.
More of your calls next.
Scott Zolak, Mark Bertrand. Zolak and Bertrand. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Snap to Brady. Stands in, fires to the end zone, and it is intercepted by the Baltimore Ravens, and that will wrap it up. And the interception pulled off by defensive back for the Ravens. I think that was Kerry Williams, it was. So Brady throws his second interception of the game, and the Baltimore Ravens are on their way to Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans against the San Francisco 49ers. And that will take care of the Patriots season here in the AFC Championship game.
That was the final call of the legendary career of Gil Santos against the Baltimore Ravens, who went on to the Super Bowl and went on to win the Super Bowl that year over the 49ers with not John Harbaugh, but Jim Harbaugh, brothers. Oh, the brothers. I can't wait for more of that Super Bowl week.
Bro down.
I'm not a Swiftie like Zoe. Not that I have anything against her. I'm just not a big Taylor Swift fan like Zoe is.
I am pro Taylor Swift, yes.
I'd be happy to see more Taylor Swift, Kelsey stories the week of the Super Bowl as opposed to the Harbaugh brothers and how they could both be going for championships in the same football season, one at the college level and one at the pro level. Oh, my God, the Harbaugh brothers.
Let them lose. Let him retire. Let them get married, and we get all the stories you want by Us Weekly in the offseason.
Kind of fun. Yeah. That's kind of nice.
We'll read them all.
Two kids
finding
love.
Yeah. Yeah, you care about that.
Oh, tell me more about the Harbaugh brothers, please. That's what
games
I need
today.
to hear.
I need to know what games they played in the backyard. Or are they competitive at lawn darts?
Double Dutch.
Who was down first to eat breakfast in the morning?
Oh, and this happened during the national title game. Oh, you see this? John Harbaugh surprised Jim Harbaugh on the sideline. Ha ha! You'll see that clip 4 million times shoved down your throat Super Bowl week. You want that?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I need that.
I don't want anything Baltimore. I don't like their logo. I don't like their uniforms.
Crab cakes and football,
I don't like
baby.
anything about them.
Crab cakes and football.
Because I remember why we don't like that team.
I also remember he hooked it. Like that, those are fun times too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? As you replay that and the losses out in Denver, the AFC Championship ones, I think we had 2 of them. The one in Indianapolis. Those were more scathing and knife stabbing than...
Knife stabbing, appropriate.
No, just stop. Those ones killed you more than act. You would have won those.
Yeah.
You look at the Super Bowl
Ravens
matchups those years, you would have won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Those ones sting more because those teams want, like, you're going to win the Super Bowl.
The 06 AFC Championship game was the worst bet of my life. I
the
lost.
Bears, you would have crushed the Bears.
And yes, they would have crushed the Bears.
You would have beat Carolina. Peyton Manning couldn't throw. And he threw those wobbly 2 touchdowns, remember?
Yep.
He knew. He told everybody, I'm done. I can't move my arm. He won the Super Bowl without having the ability to throw.
Go to the calls. It's Jake in Boston. Hey, Jake.
Hi.
Boy, imagine being a Bills fan this morning. Waking up, it's freezing cold. It'll be freezing cold for the next 3 months. Your wife is next to you in bed. She probably is overweight, diminishing
hair on her legs.
Imagine having a kid or two, too, and all of the money you would save to go to the Super Bowl the last 7 or 8 years is now going to that kid's college fund. And imagine that guy's only escape in life is being Sunday afternoons with that football team because there's nothing else to do in Buffalo. It's a masochistic experience covered up by alcohol, enough alcohol to make your liver look like Mickey Mantle. Then imagine him driving his daughter to school this morning, and all she wants to do is turn Taylor Swift on the radio. That was beautiful yesterday. What a day. What a game. Those 3 primal pieces of garbage in Buffalo should have studied Taylor's catalog a little bit more because instead of trying to bully her, Karma is her boyfriend, and
Jake,
her boyfriend
can I ask you a question?
studies yesterday.
Jake, how great is the Taylor Swift Super Bowl going to be?
If you thought Doug Mirabelli's police escort was something, imagine Taylor being tracked from Japan and her final show there to Super Bowl suites or suites.
Hey, Jake.
It will be 24/7.
Jake, do you think she and Brittany are really good friends?
It's not there.
Oh, you dropped him?
Yeah.
I want to ask him a question.
Sorry. Maybe he'll have to call us back.
Oh, he'll call
since
back.
you need that question answered. Chris is in New Hampshire.
I think it's fraudulent. I do.
Chris?
Yeah.
Fellas, how we doing? Big Joe?
What's up?
I gotta agree with you here. I think I don't want to see the Chiefs go on. I want to see Baltimore go ahead and play with them.
I need new blood.
Okay. And if Baltimore gets to the Super Bowl and it's against the Lions, who will you root for?
Baltimore.
Oh, my God. You are a terrible human being today. What happened to you? You would root for Baltimore over the Lions.
Depends what uniform they wear.
What? What's wrong with you? You would root for Baltimore because you don't like the Lions uniforms.
I hate the all blue.
You would root against the Detroit fan base.
I'm not rooting
They have
against
had
the fan
nothing
base.
good.
I'd be happy
with
for
their
Hardy
football team.
and Fred. Fred's kind of a borderline fan. Hardy's a real fan.
For pretty much their entire lives, there are so few members of that fan base in Detroit that remember a time when their team was good. There's a handful of them.
No, you know
There's that one guy they keep showing on TV.
But you know
he
what it
was
is
there
for me?
the last time around. But
I'm conditioned. You know what it is for me? I'm conditioned to root against the NFC. Like, always being an AFC guy. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, you can talk me into root for Detroit.
Big American
I have no allegiance to Baltimore.
Guy.
I have no allegiance to Baltimore. I don't like
You
like
apparently do.
No, I don't. No, I don't. It's just like rooting interest of like what's the storyline's going to be for me. That's what I root for.
What town is the Maryland football campus in?
College Park.
And how far is that from Baltimore?
About a half hour. We're closer to Annapolis. Yeah, borderline. Navy, Maryland, yeah.
I mean, it's wild.
Crab cakes and football. Nice. That's what Maryland does.
It's wild to think Detroit could even be in a Super Bowl. I mean, it's wild to even talk about. Like,
it's weird. Jared Goff.
I told
with
T-Bone on
Detroit,
Friday, don't be crazy. Let's not
the cool
be crazy
story
to talk about Detroit in the Super Bowl. It's possible.
The cool
of course,
story is him reviving his career. Sort of Goff resetting and winning elsewhere because he lost with the Rams.
How about Dan Campbell telling you that he's gonna fight, bite your kneecap?
It bugs me a little
and
bit.
Then do it again, and this is where they that was his opening press conference when this thing started.
Yeah, and they do fight.
I will tell you this though, that was such aggressive play calling late in the game. Like they kept going. They could have ran the clock out and tried to do
trusted Goff to throw. Yeah. I tell you what, Baker was making some throws in that game too. Jesus,
Baker made one to Mike Evans.
Oh my
really
God,
nice.
Was that beautiful? Wow.
And Mike Evans, free agent, by the way. But like, I'm curious.
Old.
I'm not talking about here.
Too old.
Because if you want to bring things back to here,
you're going to sign him here. Just get past that.
The only quarterback that was really drafted at the top, right? When we look at it, is Goff. And if I'm looking at it here,
Goff's number one.
Yeah, Goff went number one. Every other quarterback was mid, late.
Baker was number one.
Yeah, he's talking about the
I'm
guys
talking
who
about
left.
this right now.
Brock Purdy was not a top pick.
No, Lamar was bottom first round.
Yeah,
Mahomes got picked over.
Yeah.
By Chicago.
And I'm just trying to bring it to here
Mitchell.
if you want to.
Mitch
But
went ahead of Mahomes.
Goff was the number one who played in the Super Bowl and lost, and now has his chance with another team.
Yeah.
To go back, and now, I'm just bringing it back to the Patriots with the number 3 overall pick. Is it worth going quarterback, looking at the Final Four?
Goff's a good story, beating the Rams.
Root for the people of Detroit who have watched this team and just accepted failure for so many decades.
I get on that.
They have been so bad for so long.
You know what?
Now they have a team.
That would be my takeaway from this. If just give me Baltimore in it to get the Chiefs out of it, and I'm rooting for Detroit.
Oh,
you got
convinced you.
Yeah. There's nothing I really like about Baltimore. I don't know.
Zoe wants new blood. We just want bad blood.
Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know it used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
Zoe.
Now we got problems. And I don't think we can solve them.
2 weeks of this? Come on.
Oh, the best. We're going to track the plane from Japan.
I want her in May. I want her
Yes.
back in Gillette in May.
Zoe.
I'll be there.
Daniel's in Burlington. Hey, Daniel.
Steph Diggs is a loser player, and if the Bills ever want to win, they got to get rid of him. And we have been robbed as a society of ever witnessing a marital aid during a Super Bowl. Thanks a lot, Dad.
That is true. That is true. Why have we not had that yet?
That or
We
a rubber fist?
need
No.
Buffalo in there for that.
Like Borat running around.
The Bills might be at the end of an era. They might have a lot of change over there, as Zoe has brought up multiple times this morning. We'll continue talking about what's to come in the NFL, what happened this past weekend, and also the latest on the Patriots as they assemble their coaching staff. What role could Steve Belichick have with that staff? We'll get to it right after the headlines. No commercials.